Okay guys, this video is going to show you how to create a Noodle Tools account for your research project. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is actually be logged into Canvas. And before we begin, I just want to tell you, ignore this up here. I'm making this video for all of my classes for this research project. And so if you don't see your particular class number up here, don't freak out because it's all the same process anyway. I also want you to ignore this purplish pinkish border. This only means I'm in student view because obviously my Canvas platform is a lot different than yours because I'm an instructor. I just wanted to show you what you would look like if you were logged into Canvas as a student. Okay, so let's assume you're logged into Canvas and you want to connect to Noodle Tools and create an account. Here's what you need to do. So down here on the left-hand side, you're going to see this option called Library Resources. I want you to click on that first. And what this is going to do is this is going to take you to a page that the Glendale Community College Library created just for English 101 students. This is all about the research process for English 101. So there's a whole bunch of great information about finding articles, how to create topic and search strategies, finding books, etc. But again, what we're doing right now is just trying to create a Noodle Tools account. So what I want you to do is click on this option called Citation Assistance. And so what that does is that actually kicks you out of Canvas. You can see up here that this is my Canvas right here, and I've been directed outside of it. And now I'm connected to the Glendale Community College Library. And this is all about citation help. So if you ever needed any help with how to do MLA formatting or APA formatting or strategies for avoiding plagiarism, this would be a really great location for you to go to. But for Noodle Tools, we're going to click on this link right here. It's called Noodle Tools Research and Citation Aid. So click on that. And this is the rundown of what Noodle Tools is and some basic information about what you can do on Noodle Tools. And I would highly encourage you guys to read through this as we get started with this research project. But if we're going to start an account, we want to go back to the top here where it says Start Here. And we want to click on this option called Noodle Tools, or this link, I guess it's not an option, just a link. Click on that. And then what we're going to be prompted with is an off-campus database access. And so what this is going to allow us to do is connect to Noodle Tools remotely, because I'm assuming you're doing this while not on a campus computer. So this is important to do when you are trying to access Noodle Tools through another computer other than one that's located on campus. So you're going to see this little screen, you're going to put in your MEID, you're going to put in your password, and you're going to click Login. And what that's going to do is tell pretty much Noodle Tools that you have been authenticated into the Glendale Community College subscription. So if you've done this correctly and you've connected through Canvas, you're going to see this little green box that tells you that you've been authenticated. This is actually really important because Noodle Tools is not a free service. It is a subscription that, from what I can understand, actually costs quite a bit of money to get. Now, fortunately for you, that subscription is paid for you by the college. But the only way Noodle Tools knows that you are associated with Glendale Community College is if you've connected through Canvas and gone through that remote access login. And so if you've done this correctly, you should see this. And this tells Noodle Tools, hey, I'm a student with Glendale Community College. I don't have to pay for it. And so from here, what we want to do is click on the register option down here. And so click on this. It's going to ask you to set up your new user registration, but I want to make sure that you are choosing the right type of account to create. So over here on the left, you've got these three different versions. You want the one that's already highlighted to stay highlighted. It's called an account linked to a school library subscription or trial. That's the one you want because your school is the one who's paying for the subscription. If you click on this one, an individual subscription, that's going to prompt you to pay for the subscription, and you don't want to do that. This third option is they call it a Noodle Tools MLA Lite account. And that's like a kind of like a free version of Noodle Tools, and it gives you access to some of the functions, but not all of the functions that we're going to need for this research project. So keep it on this particular option, the account linked to a school library subscription or trial. And then over here, you're going to fill out your necessary information, that you're a student, your expected year of graduation, your personal ID that you want to use as a username, your password. Um, we encourage you just to use your MEID and your password that you would use to log into any of the other Glendale Community College systems. It just makes it easy for you to remember. You don't want to try to remember a dozen different usernames and logins for college-related material. Just use the MEID and password that you already have set up. Same thing with your email. Might as well just use the email that the college gives you. It keeps everything centrally located and makes it easy. Go through the rest of the stuff, register. Now you have yourself an account. Um, Now I already have an account, so I'm not going to create one. I just want to show you the process. But we're going to go back to a couple pages here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. So this basic sign-in option. And I'm going to just put in my account information, sign in. And this is going to be the first page that you'll see when you log into Noodle Tools. Um, Now, I obviously have a couple of different projects made because I was using obviously examples for other students to see. But I'm going to create a new project for you so you can see how it's done. So over here, you're going to see this little green highlighted button called simply new project. Like, hey, how difficult is this, right? So click on that. And it's going to ask you to come up with a project title. What I would like you to do is just say English 101 dash your name, right? And so what this does is this makes it easy for me to know what student project I happen to be looking at, because what you're going to do is share this with me so I can actually log on the Noodle Tools and go to your project. So if you just put English 101 and then your name, then I know like, hey, okay, it's this particular student. The citation style, we're going to keep as MLA formatting because, hey, this is English 101. We're using MLA formatting. The citation level, I would change this from advanced to starter, simply because for a project like this in English 101, you're just not really going to be using a lot of really in-depth specific kinds of sources. So we want to start off easy. And then if we have to add on other kinds of sources, we can. So just choose the starter level for your citations. And again, all this will make sense as we actually start using Noodle Tools. And then you're going to submit. And so it's going to take you to this dashboard option. So you're going to see this for this particular project. Now, obviously, you can have more than one project, right? This is not something you can just use for English 101. You could use this for any class that you have that has a research project, right? So you could have multiple projects, but for this one, you can see right up here, is for English 101. This is your name, whatever, and it's going to be the dashboard that you'll be looking at. And so now what you want to do is you just want to share this with me. So now I can log on the Noodle Tools and see your progress. So this is how this is going to go. So down here in the middle, you're going to see this option called sharing and collaboration. And right here in the middle, there's sharing. There's like this option called the project inbox. And that's what you want to click on. So you want to share this with the project inbox. And if you click on this, it's going to give a couple of boxes for you to put your information in. So project inbox might be, it's going to be my last name. But what you'll see here is that no record comes up. The reason why is because I'm logged into my own system. So it doesn't recognize my inbox as a way to, do you understand? Like, how am I supposed to share my own project with my own inbox? But when you do this and you put in my last name, you're going to see my classes come up, and there might be a number of different English 101 classes, maybe even English 102 classes. What you want to do is choose the right class with that 5-digit number. Like, what particular English 101 class are you in? Or English 102 class, if that's what happens to turn out. Click on that, put your name again, and then click done. And then what that does is that shares your project with me. And now I can log on the Noodle tools and check out your progress. Okay, so this is a hopefully a helpful introduction to how to log in the Noodle tools, how to create an account, and how to share your project with me. And so as we start this research project, please do this. And if you have any troubles, just let me know and I can help you reason it all out.